What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about how important or how much of an impact money has within our livelihood and within the society and within this world, right? So let's get to it. Now, I'm not sure how other people are or what they want, but for me, like I'm the type of person where like I really desire to like travel around the world and to like just to do my own thing. I don't like settling, I don't like working for a long period of time. If I don't like something, then I want to get out of that situation. I want to get out of it. You know, it's just how I am. I'm sure a lot of people are like this as well, but it just sucks that you really can't like. I don't want to live a type of life to where like finances and money is holding me back. And unfortunately, we live in a type of society or realm or earth or a world or society that like it does that. As much as people want to deny it, money does restrict you. Yes, if the more money you make, the more freedom you have. But most of us are in the middle class or in the lower class. None of us, barely any of us, financially free. We're wealthy. That's not the case. The world is not like that. But it can be like that, but it's not. So it sucks how like we really can't really maneuver or do things in life unless you work for the system. Why do I say this? Because if you work for the system, then you get money. And in order for you to maneuver in this world, what do you need? You need money. How you gonna buy a car to travel around? How you gonna book an fucking air flight, a passport? How you gonna like have a roof over your head or food, water, shelter, clothing, etc. You know what I'm saying? All that shit requires money. Damn near everything you can think of requires money. Even thinking a certain way, the only thing that's free is your mind, pretty much. But even then, your mind is programmed by the society based on fear of like if you don't work for the system, if we don't have enough money, you're not gonna survive. That's fear. So actually, even your mind's being controlled due to fear because of this bullshit ass society. And what makes it worse, and I'm only talking about in America now. There's actually worse shit going on in these third world countries. So everything is a shit show. And I'd be thinking to myself from a spiritual perspective, like, man, like, is part of the human experience, are we not meant to experience happiness and bliss and freedom? Or are we just meant to be enslaved and being used to do things we don't want to do? And we're just meant to suffer and waste our whole lives just doing shit we'd rather not do? Is that part of the human experience from a spiritual perspective? Is this how this life is? You know what I'm saying? Is this how life is? Because it seems like it. Because if it wasn't like that, then why has this shit been ongoing for such a long ass time? And there are people out there who are living a reality tour, they are financially free, they are happy, and etc. But that's a few people. Not everyone is doing that. So is it because we're dealing with certain karma we got to deal with? And if that's the case, and a lot of people have we all fucked up in the past lives to where we deserve this, or like, or do we live in a fucking like restricted as realm that has certain rules and regulations that allows pedophiles and child traffickers and Masonic bloodlines to rule over this world that controls that hoards most of the resources and money. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on over here? And so that's what I be thinking. And if that's not the case, then why is it that we're still dealing with a lot of restrictions? We're in the year 2024. We're still dealing with like money issues and economic issues and wars and battles and poverty and people struggling to get by and broken homes, broken families and homelessness and all this shit. Why is this shit still an ongoing theme? More likely, which I believe, I'm not saying these are facts, but I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories and people's theories and other shit they've seen. I'm not saying all of it is real, but the things I've seen on YouTube, it does kind of confirm, it does make sense that we do have a lot of evil ass people who rule over this world. That shit does make sense in a way, because why is the world the way it is? Yes, you could always be put in worse situations. Yes, it's always important to have gratitude. Yes, it was a lot worse back then compared to now. But at the same time, it's like we're still struggling. We're still having to deal with a lot of bullshit. And that's the main problem with this society and world we're living in. Things need change. Things need change. So it's like, what, like, so as a collective, as a people, what do we need to do in order for us to change this? Is it spread information through social media, spread information through YouTube, or like what is it? Do we just let life go by? I mean, if anything, it's not even our fault. We're just trying to do the best we can to get by in life. We're just trying to do the best we can to navigate in this system. But this system and the society, even with these school systems, it programs you to live life a certain way. It programs you to do things at a certain way. It's like everyone's the same. It doesn't like the society and programming and the school systems. It it forces you it makes you like not it makes you not be willing to be unique, and it doesn't inspire people to be unique. It doesn't inspire people to think outside the box and to be creative. It programs people to do the same thing. Why do I say this? And yes, we do have the free will. We have our own mind to be unique and to be free. Like they're making money online, they're doing their own thing. Yes, but that's based on free will. But I'm talking about in this society, in this world, and how these school systems, what is programming you to do. Most of society in this world, it programs you to live life just like everyone else. It's robotic, it's repetitive. It doesn't inspire creative thinking and being unique. It doesn't. Why do I say this? Because it's programming you to go to school, and yes, you are forced to go to school if you're not in college. After high school, you're pretty much free to do what you want. Not really, because if you're free, if you don't work, then you're gonna be homeless, and people aren't gonna buy you food, and you're not gonna have clothes and food, water, and shelter. You're not gonna have a car, and pretty much just gonna be a bum and beg for money. I don't like the word bum, but I'm using it as an example of what people think and stuff like that, and how society programs people to be. So you're not really free. You think you're free, but you're not. Found my car. It's kind of hot. But like, where was I getting at? Okay, so with these school systems, so what it does, right? What it does. These school systems, so like, okay, so when you're growing up, right? Yeah, so you're forced to go to school, because if you don't go to school, then they're gonna give you a ticket, or I think either you or your parents or your caretakers a ticket, a fine from the state or from the city that like your child hasn't been going to school, and like if they keep it up, you'll get more tickets, and eventually it'll lead to arrest, or like either that, and or you get some type of like harsh consequence if you decide to not go to school. I think you do get in trouble, but your parents will also, and your caretakers that are responsible for you, they also get in trouble too. So that's not freedom, that's enslavement right there. What if someone doesn't want to go to school? What if someone hates school? What if someone doesn't like the people around that school systems? You see what the types of food they feed these kids, they feed them horrible ass food, bro. And like, not only that, but I feel like I remember back when I was in school, I remember like some people still got to pay for food and all that. I'm like, bro, like, why do we got to pay for food? You know, like, we got to pay for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. It's wild. Like, why is it like that? You know, so it's like, and the food's not even that good. So in school, wastes your time. It doesn't really teach you anything useful. So it's so weird out here. So what's going on over here, man? Damn, I haven't shaved in like 2 days, and my shit's already growing. God damn. But it's just crazy, man. Like, what's going on? And it sucks too, cause like, so I'm gonna use my life for example, right? Because in my past videos, I've already used other people's examples and the collective examples of how money restricts them. So I'm gonna use my life for example, so you guys can get a feel for it. And this video, I'm not convincing anyone to think a certain way, but I'm just making this video to release frustration on how I view this world. Obviously, I don't know too much about it, but I'm just observing. I'm still young, but I'm frustrated. So this is why I make this video. So like, me, like, I'm in a point in my life where like I want to travel around the world and I want to live at certain locations, right? But it sucks that in order for me to do that, I need money, and like I can't really have my own apartment. I can't have my own house. I can't even go to certain schools unless I have money, right? And it's like, especially when it comes to places to stay, it's hard to find a place to stay because you gotta have enough money to maintain, to even search for an apartment, to search for housing. And you gotta have a certain good credit score so you can even qualify. It's not guaranteed, but so you could qualify to buy an apartment or a house, and it increases your chances of getting one. But then it's such a long process of finding one. And on top of that, if you're moving to a random location, you can't settle. But don't you want a roof over your head? You don't want to be homeless, because it's gonna be a lot harder for you to look for a home. You need money to maintain gas in your car, so your car can keep moving, so when it's navigating, so you can search for apartments and other housing areas. So you can not only travel in this city, but if you don't like the city, then you go to a different state, and then, you know what I'm saying? But all that requires gas money. And like, and depending, God knows how long it's going to take for you to look for to find an apartment that you approve for and that's actually yours, and the housing, the process takes long, and then it might take days, weeks, even months, and then you need money to maintain that. So it's like you can't just travel from state to state, city to city, and look for housing and expect for you not to pay any type of money. You know what I'm saying? So it's ridiculous, man. And that's what I'm talking about. In the society, in this world, like, it holds you back in a way, because like the shit we could easily be doing that shouldn't take little to no effort and or time in this system, this society, in this world, all over this world, it what's the word, man? It bypasses, like, it increases the time expectancy. Like, it makes you having to do things that should be simple a lot longer than it has to be. It makes shit a lot more complicated than it has to be. It's a long process. And on top of, I forgot to mention, on top of that, like, not to mention, even looking for a job in general. Let's clearly, my objective is to not work for the system, is to not work for these 9 to 5s, because it drains your energy, it's boring, it's depressing, and it makes you miserable, and it drains your energy and shit like that, and it wastes your time. But let's say if you do need a job just so you can maintain a car and you can maintain a roof over your head, even finding a job, even then, that takes a long time. If you don't have the right connections, if you don't know certain people around that area, then it's gonna be hard for you to look for that job. Everything is online. You can't turn your resume in person and talk to the manager one-on-one, or to the bosses, or to the supervisors, or the employees. You can't talk to them one-on-one and give them your resume and give them good talk so they could have a good impression of you. It doesn't work like that. It used to work like that, but now it doesn't. Instead, everything is online now. Everything's fucking online. Everything is online. Everything is through the fucking internet. So that makes shit a lot more complicated, because online is good because you can do it around the world. We do have access to it. I understand they can do Zoom calls, but what if they don't want to hire you? What if they don't want to look at you? Or maybe their internet doesn't fucking work. Or maybe you did it wrong. They can't find you. And versus you turning your resume in person and talking to that person in general, like the bosses, the supervisors, employees, they get a good feel of how you are, how you carry yourself, and how you conversate, and how professional you are, and how motivated, determined you are. They would hire you on the spot, or they'll at least create a bond or a connection with you from the jump. Whereas online, you can't really create that opportunity, and they might just bypass you without them even knowing you. You could be the best person on the job. You could be the best. You could be the blessing for that company. But since it's online, they don't see you. They don't know you. They never seen your face. They never seen you talk. They don't know how you carry yourself. They don't know you. And they just bypass your name just like that, because they look at you as a number. And that's what these jobs and corporations and societies, we're all just numbers, pretty much. So it's ridiculous, man. So it makes shit a lot more complicated. But basically, with the society in this world, what it does is that, like, things that shouldn't have to take so long and take so much time and energy, this society, this world we live in, this earth, it creates the opposite of that. It shouldn't take long for you to have a house and to have a car and have gas money and have proper gas for your vehicle, and to travel around the world and explore and live life and mind your own business. Why can't life be like that? But no, life isn't like that. Instead, it's the opposite. You know, it could take you a lifelong in your life just to travel around the world, just to find a house to fucking stay in, and it takes years to do that. It's a long ass process. Everything that should be the time frame that you should be doing things that shouldn't be much of a hassle or inconvenience in this society, in this world, it does that shit the complete opposite. Why? Because of money. Because we're ruled by money. Everything is restricted and correlated to the money system. Not just money system, but other factors like everything online when you're trying to apply for jobs, and everything's just so fucked up. And because I know people, and me myself included, a lot of people, we spent hours, we spent years, months, weeks, days just having to apply and look for a job through our resumes and stuff like that, applying for school, applying for financial aid, having to save up money so they could have good credit, so they could have an apartment, so they could have a house, a place to stay, and etc. And it's just ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't really take that long. And the fact that you gotta do all of that, all these inconveniences, all this time-consuming shit, it kind of like it turns people off in a way where, like, it doesn't make people motivated to even attempt to do those things. It is doable, but there's no guarantees. And I understand life isn't on guarantees, but it's a hassle doing those things. It's a hassle, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get at, you know? Especially, like, because no one's the same. Some people like patience, some people got things to do, and, like, with this system, it programs you to do the same shit. This is why people commit crimes. And there's why people commit scams and robberies and they steal, because they're tired of having to wait for the next paycheck. They're tired of having to work for the system just to get breadcrumbs. Instead, why not just steal, scam, and steal money so they can get money on the spot? I'm not saying that's the right thing because of karma and it's morally is not right and you're harming another person. But at the same time, shout out to Chauncey One, just like what Chauncey One said, which he made a great point. People, they don't want to do that, but they have to do it because of the nature of the society, the nature of this world, of how evil it is. People need things on the spot, and they're not doing it because that's how they are. Some of them are, but for the most part, most people do it because they're trying to survive, and they're trying to they're just trying to survive pretty much, because society, this world is based on survival. It's based on fear. So we're not really living life. We're living life based on fear, and the society, this world, how it's set up, is programming you to have a lot of fear. That's why people are forced to work at these jobs they rather not do, and they don't like it and they hate it, but they have to do it because out of fear. If they don't work, and it's justified too, because if they don't work, then if they're not making money, then they can't have food, water, house, shelter, and shit like that. So it's like it's an ongoing toxic cycle of bullshit, pretty much. You know, I understand life is not easy. Life, part of being an adult is handling your responsibilities and doing what you got to do. I get it. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about that life could be so much more advanced and very simple, but yet life, it does the opposite. I want to say life, this society's world, it does the opposite of it. It adds on a lot of the bullshit, frustration, confusion, and stupid shit, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to get at. This shit really, if you think about it, this shit's really stupid. It's really crazy. So if you don't work for the system, if you don't want to because working just to make money, you have to sacrifice most of your time, energy, and efforts just to work for the system, just to get breadcrumbs of the money. And not only that, but people are being overworked and underpaid. So not only you're being overworked, but it doesn't even pay you fairly. If the system were to pay you fairly, then most people wouldn't have to struggle or worry about when their next paycheck is coming in, when their rent is due, when they're gonna pay for their bills, car insurance, car gas, and maintaining a family, take care of their family. Less people will be having less financial stress, and less people will be struggling. But instead, no, because this economy, this society, this world, it underpays people by big time. It does that shit. Yet it overworks people. So where's the fairness? Where's the balance? This shit's been ongoing. It doesn't matter what type of president we have. This shit's always been ongoing. What the fuck is going on? So this is why there's a lot of broken families, a lot of broken homes, a lot of divorces, a lot of breakups, a lot of issues, a lot of conflicts, a lot of wars and battles. All that shit happens because of the economic state, pretty much, because of the money system. So the people ruling in power, whoever it is, the ones who are responsible for hoarding most of the earth's resources and money, they're at fault. They're the ones that are the fucking problem. You know? So, and this shit's been ongoing, and this shit needs to stop. But how do we stop it? That's the problem. Is it by taking action? If we do take action, would it create a lot of chaos? Would life be like The Purge? How everyone's just being reckless because human beings are naturally fucking stupid. So you know what I'm saying? So there's wars and battles going on. And so what the fuck is going on? So there's no real solution. I mean, there's a reason we can point out the corruptions and the issues of the society in this world. Yes, that's a fact. We can point out the issue, which is a good thing. But now the real problem is, how do we fix it, pretty much? Is it by us spreading information? Is it people by becoming more aware? Social media is a great step for that, if used the right way. You know? So, yeah, so that's all I got to say. And then you got time speeding up, and then you got days going by a lot faster. You got time accelerating extremely fast. You know, so that's also playing a role. And I think the faster time is going to speed up, the faster the days are going by a lot faster. That's going to make people become more aware of the corruptions and the issues of the society. Because since you got time speeding up and the days going by a lot faster, people are going to be forced to it's going to make people more stressed working for this system, because since time is speeding up and the days are going by a lot faster, people are going to be stressed out. Even they're not aware of what's going on, but in reality that is going on, but most people aren't aware of it because they're too busy focusing on surviving. As time speeds up, days are going by a lot faster. People are going to eventually realize that, hey, I don't have enough time to take care of myself or my family or my loved ones. why am I being overworked, and why am I being underpaid? You know what I'm saying? And then eventually they're going to come to the senses and realize how corrupt this evil, how evil and corrupted and how not fair this society and this world is, based on them being overworked and underpaid. You know, so. And I understand time speed up, days go by a lot faster. It's gonna be easier for you to save money and to stack up. But at the same time, you're still being overworked, you're still being underpaid, and you're gonna have less time for yourself within your off days. Realistically, you only have like 2 or 1 off days pretty much. Friday, you came back from work, that doesn't count as off day. Saturday is a real off day, so you got 1 full off day. And Sunday, technically, you still don't have an off day because you gotta worry about work for the next day. So realistically, if people working for a 9 to 5, 5 times a week, realistically, you only have 1 day off. You know what I'm saying? Without you having to worry about waking up a certain time or sleeping at a certain time and getting ready for work. Saturday is a real day off, pretty much. So there's a lot of there's a lot of issues spiritually, and physically within this world, pretty much. So there's a lot of shit going on. But what makes it annoying is that like nothing's really changing. Even if it is changing, it's happening very slow. People may say, "Oh, we're changing presidents," or you got tail readers saying, another thing I want to talk about too. Yes, it is good to point out like positivity and faith and optimism, but the problem I have with that is like that is good, but there's no fucking real change. I feel like, in my opinion, the real change is if people point out the flaws and the issues and the things that's going on in this world and in this society. Yes, you have politics and politicians who do that, but I also feel like people that have access to these smartphones, people who have access to social media, I feel like they need to like have the courage and have the minds and have the awareness of like, I got a smartphone. I'm young. Why not make a YouTube video or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or some type of like social media app to where I can voice my thoughts, my opinions, and my observations and my awareness and how I view the issues and problems that this society and what this world has that I have a problem with. Why can't people do that and make videos about that? You see how I'm doing? I'm not saying, I understand we all think different, we all have different mindsets, we're all meant for different things, we all live different life purposes. That's fine. But what I'm saying is that at least the shit I'm talking about, or at least like, because like, we can all agree that yes, we're doing our own thing, we're following our hearts, we're doing our passions, we're having a good time in this. But without a doubt, I feel like the thing everyone could do is definitely point out the flaws and issues that this world has, or the problems they have with this world and how the society is set up based on the money system. If it was so perfect and okay, so if it was so perfect and people aren't making videos, and apparently then I guess people aren't struggling, people aren't having issues, people don't have to be forced to work for these jobs. But in reality, it's the opposite. People are struggling, people hate the money system, they have a lot of fear, and they're forced to do shit they don't want to do, like working for these jobs, and they're not really living their life, they're being very restricted. So what people could do, and a lot of people are experiencing this to a certain degree, so I feel like what each person should do is to grab a smartphone and use those social media apps and cameras to make videos about the issues and problems they have with the society and problems and issues they have with this world. It doesn't have to be a lecture, it doesn't have to be an hour long. It could be short clips, or even mini videos that it doesn't take most of their time. It could take like 2 to 5 minutes of their day, making a video pointing out about the flaws and issues they have with this world and their opinions and their perspective on what they think on things that needs to be changed and how we could work together as a collective to make this world a better place, whether it be through like exposing the people in power, exposing the corrupt government, exposing like the money system, exposing the wars and battles, exposing the government, exposing just anything that they think that is the problem that's making this world the way it is. You can be through anything. And I feel like if everyone were to do that as a collective, it will create a huge domino effect of people becoming more aware, people becoming more like open-minded, and again aware of how evil this world is. And once everyone, that creates a domino effect of people around the globe. That's very powerful. People from different countries, states, cities, having that awareness that they don't have to agree with each other, they don't have to think the same, but if they have that same awareness that like, oh shit, like we can all agree that like, no, we don't agree with one another, we don't like, you know what I'm saying, we all have different perspectives and opinions, but we can all agree that there's a lot of evilness and corruption and restrictions that's making this world and people's lives a lot more harder and challenging than it has to be. and changes need to be made. If all of people had that mindset and they're working together to actually find solutions to fix it, so people don't have to struggle, people don't have to suffer, you know what I'm saying, and they're exposing real corruption and people in power, then in my opinion, that could really help change this world for the better. I don't know how fast, but maybe slow, or maybe it may not change it at all. But at least it's something. At least people have the awareness, and that's strong enough for people to make the change in this world. Because as years go by, as people reproduce, the next generation's ongoing, they're going to become more aware and shit what the fuck is going on, and eventually it's going to lead people to rebelling for this evil ass world in the society. It just has to be at a chaotic way, but at least it can make it in a way where now people as a collective, they have the influence, they have the power, instead of the politicians, instead of like a group of people who are ruling over this world that's not benefiting anyone. Instead, you have a collective, a lot of people. They're the ones that are benefiting each other, and that's powerful. There's power in the strengths in numbers. So if a lot of people, the collective, they're working together, then that will make this world a better place, technically, because now everyone's working together, and you know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to get at. But we'll see how it goes, and maybe before I die, this shit will happen. Who the fuck knows? Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe shit will get worse, and maybe part of this human experience is for us to experience bullshit and be restricted and be enslaved and shit like that, because clearly this has been ongoing for a long ass time and shit like that. Yes, it's getting better, but it's happening very slow. I mean, it's not even getting better, it's just things are getting less worse pretty much, but everything's still shit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying don't have gratitude, be thankful. Yes, it goes to be put in a situation, but at the same time, without a doubt, we can all agree that as a collective, as a people, there's a lot of restrictions and issues that needs to be addressed that hasn't been addressed yet, and we're in the year 2024 and things need to change because it's been ongoing pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm getting at, and that's all I gotta say. But it just sucks how money does keep you restricted. It does keep you stagnant in a way where you can't really do anything. You can't travel around the world as much as you want. You can't go on vacations. You can't really explore this world. You can't really navigate in this world unless you have money or you work for the system. It's a huge problem with that. And not only that, but with this system society, it's not even fair, because some people win a lot of money without them having to do shit, while you have other people who are working so damn hard, busting ass, even sacrificing their lives and their bodies, but they're getting paid scraps. While other people, they steal, scam, and rob, and now they get money. And people who do get scammed, robbed, they lost money. So it's like there's a huge imbalance, and so clearly the money system is fraudulent. It's stupid. It's not reliant. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck is going on? So sometimes I blame, is it God's fault? Is it the universe's fault? Like, what the fuck? Are they allowing this bullshit to happen? Is there no karma being at play? If karma is a real thing, then how come this world is the way it is, and people in power, they're still getting away with a lot of bullshit? And I'm not done, I heard other videos and theories and things that, like, the reason why they're able to get away with it, because they know how this reality works. They know how the laws of this astrology work, so they're able to get away with shit without them having to get karma and punishment, and or they're able to at least withhold it and to uphold the process of them. They are going to get that karma and punishment, but they manipulate these energies and this reality in a way to, like, they could postpone that shit pretty much for their punishment. So now it gives them more time and room to rule over the people and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So there's so many theories about it, but at times I'm like, if God and the universe, if they're the ones that created this shit and gave people the free will to do what the fuck they want to do, we do have free will, but we don't to a certain extent, based on astrology, based on these astrological events and other factors that we have no control of, like the human body and shit like that, and the spiritual shit, and the other spiritual shit, I mean. And then technically it is their fault, because they're allowing evil ass people to rule over the people to a certain extent. Because as a collective, we don't know any better. We do now, but we didn't know any better, because as we were born, we didn't know any better. We're just trying to please our parents and try to, like, live life the way we're just trying to do. We're just trying to do the best we can. But since we're heavily programmed from birth, we have no say so, and we don't know what the fuck is going on until later in life, more likely after high school or college. You know, so that's where I'm getting at. So potentially, and this has been ongoing for a long time, wars and battles and enslavement going on. So clearly that's God and the universe's fault. They're the ones that are at fault. They're aware of what the fuck is going on, but they're not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? And you got these fucking, like, tarot readers or, like, these spiritualists, and they always say, like, oh, you know, like, there's gonna be a shift coming in. There's gonna be a long video, so they're gonna say shit like, oh, there's a shift going on, or there's a certain full moon, or it's a new year, there's gonna be a huge shift, everyone's gonna change, everything's gonna change for the better, or we're gonna have a different president, and now everything's not gonna be the same, and like we're gonna having a huge shift going on. And I like to use the word shift because they like to use that word apparently. They'll say shift, or they always give people, their audience, false hope, like everything's gonna happen for the better. And you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there's a full moon, or like there's a portal opening up, and they always say this dumbass shit that like apparently is gonna make this world a better place. And same thing with these other people that are not into spirituality, people that are not in the spiritual community. These people think that, oh, we're gonna have a president change, or like, and they think that the world's gonna change, or the economic state is gonna change. In reality, none of this shit have changed. Everything is a fucking same. Everything is a fucking same. So every year I always see this shit on Twitter, I always see this shit on social media, where every time we have a new president, or every time if like there's a new shift or a new timeline or like a new month or like something going on astrologically, people always want to say, oh, like big changes are coming, or there's gonna be a huge shift within people and as a collective, and people are becoming more spiritual, or like since there's a new president, like, oh, like the economy is gonna change. And you know what I'm saying, everyone keeps saying that shit, but in reality nothing's fucking changing. Everything's the fucking same. People just say that shit because they're coping, and they're giving them a false reality, or a false narrative, or like they give them false hope in a way where like things are going to get better, but it's not. They're just saying that shit because maybe deep down they're miserable, or they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, or they like to give people a false hope so they could gain profit and revenue over their audience, because their audience is codependent over this bullshit ass world, and they need proper guidance, so they could give people false hope and false information so they could get money off of their audience and shit like that, by saying like, oh, we got a new shift and everything's gonna change according to astrology, and the fuck out of here. Everything is still the fucking same. The only thing that's changing is time speeding up. That's the only thing that's changing. We got the days going by a lot faster since 2018. You got time accelerating extremely fucking fast. That's the only thing that's fucking changing. Other than that, ain't shit fucking changing. Nothing's fucking changing. Nothing. And even if it is changing by a different president or different shifts here and there, it's changing. Maybe it is, because I don't fucking know, because clearly it's not changing, because if it wasn't, then I wouldn't know, and a lot of people will know too. But clearly it's not, so that's a fucking issue. But let's say if it is changing, it's happening at a slow rate, or minimum. What, like people are getting paid, what, like $10 more? $15 more based on the new president, based on the economic state? We're getting paid what, $20 more? That's it? Or the minimum wage increase? That's it? Or if there's like a shift going on, then what's going on? What, like, are people like healed? That's it? That's not doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, people always want to say or make up dumb shit that doesn't have no fucking matter, or they have no influence. And we're near 2024, and people are still stuck in the same bullshit. They're still stuck on like giving that false hope and shit like that, when nothing's fucking changing. Go make a YouTube video. Go upload something on social media and make a difference, and talk about and point out the things that you have a fucking problem with. Don't rely on these fucking bullshit ass terrorists that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Don't rely on this fucking TV and people and these politicians that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're both no different. They're both the same. They just both operate off of fear and misery, and this is why they like to say false hope, or that every year they like to say, oh, the world's changing, the world's gonna change, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not doing anything. Nothing's fucking changing. The only thing that's changing is time speeding up, and the days is going by a lot faster, and time accelerating. And even then, the system is still not collapsing. The money system is still not collapsing. Everything is still the same. It's making people a lot more stressed. It's making people have a lot more of a sense of urgency, because the time is speeding up, and because of the days is going by a lot faster. That's it, pretty much. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know? But that's all I gotta say, though. It's just ridiculous how, like, as a soul or as a spirit, we're born and we are incarnated into this fucking lifetime, into this timeline. Earth always been like this, but it's just ridiculous how, like, as a soul or spirit, you reincarnated into here, and it's like you're being forced to do things out of your control that you have no real answer to, because you're young, your mind is young, and you don't know what's going on, and your parents don't know any better, or maybe they do, but they operate off of fear, or they're just doing the best they can, which is justified. It's like we're all doing right now. And it's like you're being forced to go to school, but you're forced to go to school, and then you're forced to work for these jobs without questioning this life, without questioning this world, without questioning what the fuck is going on, without questioning like what's going on and shit like that, without questioning like why is everything the way it is, pretty much. And then that keeps you lost, confused, and miserable, because you feel like that's all life has to offer. You know what I'm saying? But this video is trying to inspire thought, knowing that there's more life has to offer. Question, think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So this is weird. So it's fucking ridiculous, and it sucks how, like, because I feel like a lot of people's pains and and misery does happen because of the system, to be honest. I understand I understand part of it is also our mental health and our habits and our mindset and stuff like that. But why in the foods and the chemicals and the chemtrails and all the shit they put in on the shit we consume on a daily basis, that's also causing a lot of mental health issues. But also this society and how this world is set up, because it sets you up in a way where like you're forced to think like everyone else, and you're forced to do the same thing pretty much. If you don't do it, then the system, the society is not going to reward you, like giving you money or scraps, for you to get by, so you could buy a fucking car, a house, and clothes, and etc. Shit like that. You know, what happens if you don't feel like working? What happens if you don't want to participate in the system? What if you're like a unique? Everyone's unique. No one's the same. Everyone is unique. Everyone thinks different. So it's like, and that's why in my opinion, there's a lot of mental health issues and a lot of depression, and a lot of people who aren't just happy in life because they're forced to do things they don't want to do, but they have to do it based on the rules and regulations of the society and of this world, pretty much. And people may say, oh, as an adult, you're not obligated to do jack shit. You're obligated to make your own decision. Do we really? Because most people's decisions, from how I look at it, even for myself, we all do the same shit. We're all still working for the system. We're still rather not do it. We'd rather not be here, but we're forced to do it. And we do shit because it's out of our control. If things were different, let's say the money system doesn't have control over us, then more than likely, I'm pretty sure 50 or 60 or 70% of us will be doing shit that's completely different. And we'll be living way different lives. You know? So I know it sounds like I'm being dramatic or being being dramatic, and you know what I'm saying? Maybe I am being dramatic, but at the same time, we can all agree that things need change within the society, within this world, and the money system, it fucks us over and it keeps us restricted to a certain extent. That's the thing I can say pretty much. And the shit like this needs change. But what's frustrating is that like it's hard to make a change when there's no action being taken. I'm not saying, because I'm not doing it either, I'm not saying to protest. No, I'm not saying this. I don't have the solutions. I don't. But this is why I said before in this video, I guess the best solution, in my opinion, is for us to have that awareness and to spread that information, so eventually things could change pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I gotta say. And shout out to the YouTubers, and shout out to people who are actually exposing the system, who are actually exposing this world and the things that needs to be that needs to be addressed. You got Moody Mercury Baby, shout out to him. You got Chauncey One, you got Dolo the Pilot Man, and you got so many other channels, so many of them, not just them three. We got so many channels, so many of them that speak about spirituality and world corruption. But again, it doesn't have to be about spirituality and world corruption. There's people who make very good tarot videos, you know, and like Nehemiah Friend and other tarot readers. You know what I'm saying? People who make good content like that. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? I think we need more people like that. And I feel like as the time goes by, we are going to see more of that, unless the government or the people in power, unless they shut down social media and the internet, and until then we're fucked pretty much. It's kind of crazy how they have a lot of control over that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though. It's just bullshit. It's just frustrating how, like, as a spirit or as a soul, we're just subjected to all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And all that, it's just like I've been thinking to myself, man, have I really reincarnated and chose to experience this existence and this experience for me to go through all this bullshit? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I meant to just be used to do shit I don't want to do out of survival? Is what this life is all about? Or is there more to life without feeling obligated or having to work for the system and to waste your life away not being happy? You know what I'm saying? Like, but and I'm not saying if you work at 9 to 5 or you work for the system. Yeah, I'll work for the system. I'll work for 9 to 5 because, like, most people, like me myself included, we're doing it so we can survive. But I'm not saying if you do that, then you're a certain way. No, if you love what you do, then stick with it and go by it. I'm not talking about if you love what you do. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who don't like what they do, pretty much, and how the money system keeps people restricted. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say, and have a good one. Peace. Also, comment on what you think on the issues and problems that this world needs. Please let me know, because I really wish you guys could comment more. So if you guys have any video recommendations for me to make, let me know. Please comment. Don't hesitate to comment. I will reply back if you guys want me to. Just let me know. Share this video. Do what you got to do. I want people to be more engaged with my videos, with my content. I don't know why I have like 630 subscribers, and yet I only get an average of like 100 views and I get no comments, I get barely any likes, you know. So what the fuck's going on? Like, it's weird. So who's actually subscribed to my channel? Who the fuck is watching my shit? But it's just like, don't hesitate to, like, I would like to see people commenting on how they view this world, the things that need change, the things they hate, and the things they want to see change in the society, in this world. Please let me know, because it's ridiculous how, like, it's dangerous too, because if you're not aware of what's going on, if you're not aware of your full potential and your capabilities, then this world, this society, it can really easily waste your life away. And before you know it, you're in a deathbed and you have a lot of regrets, because you don't realize how much fear and control this society programs you into wasting your life. And it's not your fault, it's just we're being subjected to this bullshit. But thank God we have people who make videos that point out the issues that needs to be changed, and increase your awareness and open-mindedness and thinking and thought. Thank God we have people who make videos like that, and we have channels that are like that. Thank God for that. But just, you know what I'm saying, just follow your heart, do what you gotta do, and point out the issues and flaws that you hate about this, and the things you'd like to see change. Easier said than done, but that's all I gotta say, and have a good one. Peace.